Okay, so it's that time of year again, beginning of the year, when it's a great time to review how the previous year went, kind of see the state of things, go over things, and kind of my plans for like the next year. Oh, so some notable things that I should kind of account for with last year's, there were a few months where like I just like did probably about nearly half the year in total. So, towards the start of the year, everything kind of started out fine. Then I kind of went to work otherwise, and that was like about 4-ish months where I wasn't doing anything except for like uploading videos. So, like, I didn't have any streams going on, but I tried to keep up on uploading videos, and I kind of did okay with that, but it still kind of fell out. Then the last couple of months, November and December, I basically tried to make things work, and I kind of had like a live stream in November or two, and then it kind of fell off from there. Then most of December was basically like nothing, so I was basically trying to keep up on uploads, and it still didn't work out too well because there were still plenty of times where I like missed and was too doggone tired to do anything, and I felt like I didn't do my best because I was so doggone tired when I got to doing it, and I don't feel good about that because it's like I know the content could have been better, but there was like no brain power being used in like figuring out what to do. So, yeah, I have to apologize for that. So, yeah, about half the year I was basically out for the count when it came to live streaming, and somewhat okay when it came to uploading stuff. So about the other half of the year, I think I did okay with like keeping a regular live stream. But yeah, so I'll kind of address that issue later on for this year. So the next thing is I've kind of watched these numbers rise and fall like a hawk. So just on what was it? Tuesday or Monday, I was looking at my subscriber count and it was at 169, but someone dropped off or YouTube dropped off someone for me. So sad to say, I did not do my 169 subscriber special, but I'll have to wait till later, and that will be a more solid number by then, hopefully. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, engagement is like so so. Kind of depending on what I do, it gets a few more than other things. So, like on the Linus Tech Tips one, I of course got like a million different views, like 500, um, and so on. So, some of the topics I address that don't do too well are because I want to address some others of them. I look at them and I see an opportunity and I do jump on it. I will admit that. And yes, I can still see all your dislikes that you have. So, yeah, that kind of engagement stuff, I can still see it on the videos, the dislikes. The dislikes are not lost to me, even though they're lost to you on the other end. Hey, look at that. Nice. Um, but yeah, all the YouTube analytics are just crazy. I do have spikes here and there for like obvious reasons. Um, if I go back and look at the content and look at what I uploaded toward the beginning of December, um, where was it? Yeah, there it is. That would have been it. The bump from the Linus Tech Tips stuff. Um, I probably will comment on that like in a bit, being as everybody else is doing it, so you know it's obligatory. But Yeah, I mean, it's up and down on the sub counts and stuff. But yeah, it's steadily growing higher than it was last year. I think if we go and look at, let us change period to 2021. So overall, through the year of 2021, there was a gain overall of 112 subscribers. And over the this month so far, it was a gain of one. So if we go back to the dashboard, let's see, 167, so 112. So it was like 55. Yeah, 55 at the beginning of 2021. So that's like a a little over doubled what it was from the beginning of the year on the YouTube end. So I don't have the same stuff to for BitChute, sadly. I thought I pulled that up, but 30 subscribers. I mean, it's slowly. BitChute has been kind of slower, but that's to be expected from things that don't have an algorithm like YouTube to do things with. And Odyssey is basically kind of the same way. Um, it's kind of a bit slower on the climb than YouTube is for obvious reasons, but it's taking pretty well, I think. And then on the PeerTube side, they're kind of spread out. Some of them, yeah, a lot of them are like singles. But for the main two, it's six, which I think is pretty decent for like my count with Fetty compared to everything else. So it's pretty standard. There are some things with Odyssey or Library that I will address um, later in a bit. But yeah, views and things on those two are kind of like iffy. So yeah. Oh, as far as Twitch, like live streaming, YouTube we already saw. Twitch is sitting at 469, very nice. But again, like I said, it's been kind of off and on with that, and I feel bad for that. Uh, so, I mean, we should be able to improve it over the next year. And again, I will address that down the road. D Live has been kind of like iffy again. So, like, I've got, what, 18 on D Live, which is pretty cool. I think I've seen a couple increase over the last year, being as D Live has been through its own rigmarole of stupid stuff that it's doing. But yeah, Twitch is kind of the bigger one. 469 is from like a lot of other stuff. So yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see that. Even though the concurrent viewership is like much lower, but it's because of the way that I did things starting with Twitch. And I should hopefully be able to level that out over the next year with the way things are going. And to address Fetty, 48 followers. I think that's a decent deal, even though I'm like following 56. But, you know, I should be more active on Fetty over the last little bit. I've kind of been on it more frequently since, like, I haven't been working as much. And so, yeah, you can follow my post there on Pleroma on my instance. You can follow from your own instance if you have one and things like that. But, oh, overall, everything's on here. So, content has kind of felt like it's been like all over the place. I know that's somewhat by design. Um, there are some things that I felt like I didn't want to address, and some things that I've like gone back to again and again because I've noticed it has had decent results. I've basically picked up on some popular topics when they come up, because like here on the Steam Deck one, you get like that 222, which is a pickup in views. You get some of them. I look on Reddit for stuff, and this is, yeah. I think some of it, when I was looking at Reddit for it and I wasn't working, it was a somewhat higher quality than like what you got otherwise when I found something off Reddit. Cause let's see. Cause yeah, this one with basically cloning your SSD with DD was one that I picked off of Reddit, and it wasn't as good as it could have been. Probably not as popular, but it's something that I definitely knew. And the making YouTube stop autoplaying, I believe that was another one off of there. Yeah. December and November weren't the perfect times. The Linux antivirus one was another Reddit one. See, and that's the thing, is like my MPD one wasn't a Reddit one, but it did better than like those two during that month. And I try and pick stuff that looks like it has some traction when I check Newsboat. So when I go in and I scrape something off of Reddit, basically go into Newsboat, and I've got some subreddits basically followed here, like these 4 right here, and I'll look through those. Maybe I'll go through Phoronix to see if there's anything interesting there, but I'm mostly looking for something that's interesting and maybe that has traction otherwise. So big number means big cool things. So, and I know a few other people that do the same thing, and that was kind of the deal, was to kind of gain that traction there. So it feels like it's all over the place. There were some other things like the talkie type stuff that I did less of as the year went on. And I guess that's kind of some apprehension to like, how's it going to hit my like growth? And I guess I shouldn't really let that bother me. So that may be something that may be coming back down the road. So yeah, have fun with that. No Nut November. None of those did quite as well as I was hoping, but yeah. Other than that, yeah, it feels like it's all over the place, and it's gonna feel like it's all over the place, but there's a rhyme and a reason to it. It's because it's what I want to do for the most part. So, I mean, there were some things that, some people, criticized me for, but, what can I say? It didn't do quite as well as my web browser ones, but, and I think, let me go see, is that one? I know there are some, okay, yeah, that was at the beginning of the year. Don't open that, okay. So, like, there's this one. I've had developers of different software like Veeb and OpenRGB that have commented on stuff and has actually gained some attention and made some changes, which is actually really cool to see. Is that even with like the small footprint that I have right now, that it's still having some effect, and it's pretty cool to see that happen when it's like, oh, that pull request was inspired by something that I did. I didn't like do anything directly. I didn't submit a pull request. I did make a few changes to config files and things like that, but it led to a change that inspired something else that may improve someone else's experience, which is pretty cool to see. And I think I even went in and commented on that it's like, hey, focus on what it can do, but if you can like make it do some other cool things that would make more sense, then that would be awesome too. But yeah. So yeah, I know the last year may have felt like it was all over the place with content, but again, that's for a reason. May not seem like a good reason that I don't want to focus on a certain thing, but again, yeah, have fun. Um, so down the road for plans that I have for content, it's kind of gonna follow the same suit again. It's not gonna feel like it. Some of the talky stuff may happen a bit more frequently than it has been for the last bit of the year. Um, but yeah, it should be higher quality, which because I'll be able to have more time to focus on that this year if plans plan roll out the way that they're supposed to. Oh, because 2021 was kind of like a fat Charlie Foxtrot, to say the least. And I hate that. But 2022, there are like no plans to like go anywhere for work. Basically, I should be, with plans rolling out, should be able to keep like everything to where I can keep a decent schedule to get stuff rolled out and make things work that way. So hopefully that does like show in the way things roll out, and hopefully the content is higher quality, at least from like a presentation standard per se, or an energy like level of energy that I put into it standard. Part of that will include like probably posting a few more shorts. So when I post a short, you'll notice it's like something random or memey. That's on purpose. There's going to be memey content. If you don't like it, I know it seems bad, but hopefully there's something that you do like, for like out of the whole like melting pot of what I do. And so that's why you're here. And maybe it's for the personality and things like that. And I hope that's why you're here. But yeah, a few more shorts. Like some of it will have all over the place. Shorts won't be uploaded like regularly. It'll be kind of like spontaneous as it happens stuff. So you can, if you ignore the shorts, whatever. If you don't ignore the shorts, or you're here because of the shorts, then stick around. Oh, another thing too to keep in mind is, so for New Year's, I basically went for like 6 7 hours straight, which included multiple different games. Um, I know during the summer months, particularly, I had basically constrained myself to like 3 hour live streams. And with some things, depending on how things turn out over the next couple of months, with like situations with people at home and how that things are going, we'll see what happens. But I may be doing like longer than 3 hour live streams during like earlier parts of the year and the later parts of the year. So right now I'm holding myself at 3 hours, but if the opportunity does present itself, or there are other things that I don't need to do, then you may see me go for a little bit longer. And with Starlink finally coming, that may make it easier to do like some slightly higher quality stuff, so that I'm like not constantly like buffering because of crap internet. If the satellite cooperates okay, of course, the space internet, because that I guess has been a complaint for some people, is space internet just kind of like does what it wants to. But yeah. Oh, so some live streams may be longer than others, but I'm going to try and hold it to like a 3 hour aboutish minimum. So, and along with that, I have bought some other stuff for live streaming, and I want to do a few more console stuff. I do have a lot of console games for like OG Xbox and stuff, like physical games that I want to stream, that I think would be interesting to stream as well. So consoles, like other stuff like that, that would be somewhat different from like streaming my computer screen, and hopefully enable higher frame rates, because
A few moments later.
so yeah, again, content may feel like it's not focused, but trust me, it is somewhat. But yeah, the calendar year will look kind of weird, like shouldn't look weird this year if plans play out correctly. Um so some things that I've done over the last year that will help improve the next year that I plan on taking advantage of is the hardware that I bought. If you watched some of the videos towards the end of December, then, or this last month, the last year, then you saw me post up videos about the new laptop I got and switching the SSD in. You saw the desk tour setup that I did, and that's to kind of help improve the space and make it more workable. It is cleaner than the video originally. I have sorted a few more things out. I'm still sorting things out. It's kind of a slow process as I get like more stuff to like sort some things out. Some things may not get sorted too quickly, and some things I probably have to get rid of, honestly, and some things I have. So the desk has given me more space to work with, and it's been really nice and has kind of made my flow a little bit nicer and easier. So that's pretty cool. The computer, some things have worked out over time. Like some of my OBS issues have slightly improved. So I'm expecting that with updates that OBS will, well, a lot of things will fix itself as like drivers improve from NVIDIA and so on. So yeah, to go back to the console streaming stuff, so two things that I did is I got an audio splitter, so basically I can take my unified jack and have a microphone in and a headphone in separately, and that microphone in should be able to take the audio, because I have an audio RCA audio to 3.5 millimeter converter that will go into the microphone jack of that to plug into the computer. So if I need to, I can take advantage of the microphone. But I stopped by Walmart and picked up one of their RCA to HDMI converters. So hopefully that should vastly improve things versus the one cheap one that I got that is very Chinese looking that I've been using. And I should hopefully be able to use audio through that. I have picked up like an HDMI cable or two that should work with that. And considering the laptop they sent with a mouse pad, HDMI cable, and USB extender cable, which I didn't expect, especially for the price it was at, that's pretty cool. So basically, I've got more HDMI cables than I've ever had in my life, and like should be able to fill the needs of that I have thus far. That I should only need the number of HDMI cables that I currently have, which will be nice. Of course, you saw the new monitor, which has been really nice to me. More screen real estate, meaning more screen real estate to take advantage of with like stream chat and whatnot. So that's gonna be nice and things like that. But yeah, so console streaming should be improved. I haven't quite tested the Walmart converter yet, so still pending. I've got to hook up the TV and my console stuff still, so I'm still sorting through that stuff to get that figured out, which is why I haven't done console streams as of yet still. So another thing too, come on. So the VPS that I've been hosting Pleroma on and my PeerTube, I secured for another year. Thanks to like the wonderful people that used my affiliate links, I had like $50 of commissions from them that basically covered most of the cost of another year, and I'm extremely grateful for that. If you guys want to help keep it up, that's an awesome way to support it, is go buy your own VPS from them using my affiliate links, which are always in the description. And I do get a kickback from some of that basically I can use for credit toward the next year as I keep going, which is pretty awesome. I wasn't aware of that until like I submitted the payout ticket, but for sure this next year I will be taking advantage of that. So if you want to support the stuff there, a great way to do that is to go and buy a VPS with the stuff in the description. But yeah, stuff will be up for another year. PeerTube will continue to be up for another year. Which on the PeerTube thing, I know most of my stuff, if you've watched from PeerTube or been keeping track from PeerTube, has basically gone to the main channel itself. I'll probably continue to do that, but then down the road, create more work for myself by sorting stuff out into the sub channels otherwise. So I guess you can just follow the main channel, and then like later on, I'll just move each video into like its other channel on my account so that it's more organized down the road. But I was planning on doing stuff that would like make sense that way, but yeah, it kind of turned out like, no. So things are going to seem disorganized and then organized and then disorganized and organized. So I'll sort some things out. It's really not too difficult on PeerTube, thankfully. So it'll be, once I get some of that out, it'll be cool. So yeah, I'll be sorting that out. Some plans that I do want to do is I've been looking at options for like restreaming from the VPS, and that should be very possible. And I may continue to still use Restream, but basically would mean streaming to PeerTube and using my VPS to do multi-stream to other stuff that isn't supported by Restream. And that would include basically me attempting to create a unified chat thing that I can probably see in an IRC application so that I can keep track of chat at the same time, or use Restream because it'll post it up there too. But with another year of VPS basically and the server being up and stuff, it'll be nice. So you can use my affiliate link for Frantech to get a VPS. It does support the PeerTube and everything else as well, so that's pretty awesome. Thank you, awesome people that did that. And down the road, Frantech should be offering domain name stuff. I have to go back and look at that. I'm not sure if they've started already or not, but you can get domain names through there too, and that will be incorporated to it. So if you need a domain name and a VPS, they'll be doing that all in one place for you. Yeah, there's my plug for that. Not sponsored, but affiliated. So one other thing that I have been running into is Odyssey. So my wallet is kind of thin. The payment stuff for Odyssey has been kind of really, really low. So either A, because you look at the tips, they've kind of like dropped significantly. Because it used to be like 0.5, now it's down to like 0.03, whatever. And it's been like really, really short. And so each time I upload, I basically have to like, I've dropped down to like 0.5 for like my support stuff when I do it. Because when you upload, you basically go in, come on. Come on, go. And you've got like this thing down here. I don't remember. I think you can do it for like nothing almost. But I've been like trying to put stuff in so that I get more traction per se. Let's just pick a random one. So yeah. Yeah, see, it can't be 0, so it has to be like extremely, extremely low, which makes me sad. And so I like, you can see I've got like 0.0715 available because I've put a lot of stuff into it. So uploads to Odyssey may be spotty if I can't like bring it down too low. So yeah, I can bring it down really low, I guess, but yeah, Odyssey may not promote my stuff as hard because of that. So if you're following me on Odyssey or Library, you'll continue to see the stuff. But growth there will be dependent on sharing and stuff for the most part. So I was gonna say things might be spotty, but it looks like I'll be able to get away with like doing stupid low transaction stuff. So yeah. Um like I said, things should be different. So most of my stuff when it comes to work, I should be able to do from home. I shouldn't have to go anywhere. So, which means I will have more energy to kind of split between like the other stuff I do that I'm working with here at home and getting the regular upload stuff going too. So that means higher quality stuff and more consistent live streams and uploads because I'm not like splitting myself between like 10 different places and have someone else determining my full-time schedule that I can't easily negotiate with. So, and that also adds into the inspiration for the content that I have because with the stuff that I've been doing at home, I've found like a lot of cool inspiration for content that I like. And I hope you've appreciated that. That should continue because of that. So, yeah, like I mentioned already, more stream time. So, depending on the season or situation, you may see longer than 3 hour live streams and like my energy as well. But you invite your friends and yeah, we can probably go for a much longer live stream just from the get-go of like having you and your friends there. But yeah. Again, invite people, come along for the ride. Live streams are usually like some of the most random crap somewhat because I get distracted easily and people help me get distracted. So if you like distractions, because I like distractions, then you can join in the fun and distract, and we can all be distracted together. And we can make that extra long distractions. Um, but yeah, so at the end of it all, some of the goals that I basically have, um, so some other things I've been looking at for like adding to the VPS is I've got the Pleroma. I've been kind of debating on like adding Miss Key on the side of it. So Miss Key also interacts in the same way as Pleroma on what was it? Same protocol. Don't remember what it is, but you can interact with a Miss Key instance from Pleroma as well. But Miss Key has a few different features that Pleroma doesn't have, which I kind of appreciate, but I think would require more drive space, being as you can upload awesome files and stuff to it. And I think it has a more coherent chat than Pleroma does somewhat. But yeah, games and stuff too, and UI stuff it has. I've kind of like looked off and on at that, but it's like a little bit heavier than Pleroma. And I think I want to upgrade the VPS before that, but I don't quite have enough like affiliate stuff or things like that to do it. So if you want to see that, that would be awesome. That would be like one thing that I kind of want to do. The other thing I have been looking at is dedicated chat for to host on the VPS, and that's been between Revolt and Matrix. And I think I'm leaning more towards Revolt because it's more familiar, more like Discord, but right now it's still in very early development. And they do have a way that you can host it yourself, but they don't quite have it set up to be federated per se. So if you have ideas for that, kind of like shoot them off into like the Discord or other places that chat places and whatnot, and I will try and keep up with that. So yeah, that's basically kind of like some of the plans that I have otherwise. Other than that, like when it comes to the goals, by the end of the year of this year, 2022, it would be awesome if like for YouTube, I want to get to like that 1,000 subscriber mark. I may not monetize through YouTube then, but that would open up a lot of other opportunities for like things, sponsorships, I guess, to pay otherwise. Because you hit a certain point and people reach out to you, and that's when like I can like sift through like what I want to do and maybe have that one Mimi Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship that I may not take up. But 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'm already like almost there to 1,000 followers on Twitch, but there's a lot of other things that come with that are just kind of like trickle down from like hitting that goal. But 1,000 subscribers on YouTube would basically gain a lot of traction for things too. And that's kind of one of those goals, and you guys have helped me like get really close to that, and I appreciate that. Oh. And again, like I said, one of the other goals that I would like to have accomplished by the end of the year is to have like a dedicated like chat instance set up on the VPS so that I could bridge that between it rather than using like the Matrix home server for Element or whatever to bridge it. Because Revolt wants to do like automatic Discord bridging, which would be pretty awesome. And having that and Discord together, since they're pretty similar UI at this point, except Revolt lets you theme it, would be really, really awesome. And then the final thing is I've been trying to like get chat more active here and there, and it's happened without me trying, and other times it's just been kind of like sitting there dead. So yeah, getting chat a little bit more popping would be like a really awesome goal to accomplish too. That's another thing that comes down with like hitting 1,000 subs on YouTube and like everything else. Of course, everything else will grow as that grows, because naturally, as you gain more traction on the main platform, the other platforms are going to gain traction for some reason. But yeah, I know it's been a really long one. Yeah, super long for like 40-minute recording. Somewhere in the middle, I'm going to have to like cut some bits out, but hopefully you stuck around for the long haul. I appreciate you guys that have stuck around for so long, have like trudged through the trenches with me. And if you're new just catching this, or if you're returning and you haven't like subscribed or done that stuff yet to feed the algorithm, it's very much appreciated that you do. And have a good one.